This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life, it's a vet day at the park and John Lewis checks up on the infected leg that chimp Jimmy almost lost.
It never fails to amaze me how animals heal, and this is one of the best examples I've seen in years. Hello.
Baby chimp Rodders has to have a tooth removed after a play session in the nursery became more rough than tumble.
He's had them broken by another chimp, which is incredibly common in chimpanzees. They're robust with each other in the way they play, and they quite often damage teeth in the process.
And there's a serious problem with Monkey World's biggest ever rescue.
We've been told that we can come over, pick up as many monkeys as we can take, and then that's going to be it. There is no future for the remaining ones that we leave behind.
Monkey World has a team of 29 primate care staff to look after its apes and monkeys, including a full-time vet. But sometimes the primates need extra medical attention. From x-rays...
This is more interesting than I thought.
...to exploratory operations. Then the park calls in specialists. Today, wildlife vet John Lewis is checking up on chimpanzee Jimmy. Jimmy recently had a serious leg wound, and John needs to assess his progress.
This is absolutely stunning, because he's just got a small scrape on his leg now, and it's tiny, because it was a horribly infected wound, and the bone was exposed. Now it's just a interesting scab for a chimp to pick that has, doesn't worry me at all. It never fails to amaze me how animals heal, and this is one of the best examples I've seen in years. So, wonderful.
3 months ago, Jimmy had a blister that developed into a large ulcer. The damage was so severe, John thought there was a strong chance that Jimmy could lose his leg. The primate care staff had to clean his wound every day, which meant close physical contact that Jimmy wasn't too keen on. But animal manager Jeremy was determined the 23-year-old would not lose his leg. He had a cunning plan.
I reckon I can go in with him.
This close contact made it easier for Jeremy to clean and assess the wound. And hanging out with Jeremy was also good therapy for Jimmy, who was missing his chimp mates. He'd been isolated from his group to protect the wound. But Jimmy was not always the easiest of patients.
John will always, prescribe medication, and then we have to get it down them. And some of them take it, and some of them don't. And if it's, a life-saving drug and they don't want to take it, then of course that's always quite a chore.
But their hard work paid off, and Jimmy's recovery has been remarkable.
Given that, 6 months ago we thought 50-50 would lose his leg, not bad going, pal.
Jimmy recently moved in with the rowdy bachelor boys, and it's actually helped his recovery.
So this group is good for him. It takes his attention out of focusing on that wound. If he was in a group where they were all solitary or far more introspective, he'd be sitting there picking his scab, navel gazing, but the fact he's out playing with the other chimps is absolutely perfect for him. And he's a chimp, they heal very well. They just do.
With Jimmy's leg almost completely healed, it looks like his future living with this boisterous group will be a positive one. Later, vet John is called to the chimp nursery. A rough play session has caused damage to baby Rodder's tooth. It looks serious, but amazingly, Rodders isn't in pain.
They don't bat an eyelid. They just don't bat an eyelid. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Over in the largest chimp family group, the latest arrival is flourishing.
Bart's doing really well. Susie's new youngster and the new arrival to Paddy's group. He's 3 months old now, and he's just been tremendous, you know. And his ears, they're bigger than Eddie's. You know, I mean, Eddie had big ears, but these are just huge. I've never seen ears so big in my life on a baby chimp. God knows where these ears come from. It's got to be Paddy. You know, I mean, Paddy's got a big head, but in comparison, his ears are quite large. But Susie's aren't. So, you know, he must be following more of Paddy's genes than Eddie did.
At just 3 months old, Bart is still attached to his mum, Susie. But she is letting the other chimps in Paddy's troop have contact with him.
She's allowing the rest of the group to actually hold his hands. He'll actually, whilst inside, he'll have a look round. So she's letting him be a little bit more mobile, but there's no way she's going to let go of him yet and let anyone wander off with him. You know, that's a few months down the line before anybody else is allowed to actually take him for a ride.
Susie is being a perfect second-time mum. She's also being very patient with her firstborn, Eddie, who's taken some time to get used to her new brother.
To start with, Eddie was a little bit upset, obviously, because she wasn't number one anymore. But she's settled down. So, you know, she's actually grown up a hell of a lot, considering, you know, she was spoilt terrible by everyone in the group. But she's come on tremendously. You know, she's actually accepted Bart, and Susie just hasn't any issues, and Eddie's got no issues. So, you know, the whole family unit within Paddy's is great.
Bart is the first male chimp born at the park to be looked after by his family. At the moment, the other chimps aren't affected by whether the new baby is a girl or a boy. But this may change as Bart gets older.
I think possibly as Bart starts to grow up and becomes more mature and probably, you know, wanting to display as male chimps do, that may come into play. But, you know, Paddy then might not be the alpha male. You know, you're looking at 7-10 years possibly down the line.
As he grows up, Bart will definitely play a different role in the group to his sister, and perhaps one day, maybe he will become the alpha male. Over the past 20 years, Monkey World has rescued 11 capuchin monkeys from the British pet trade. But soon, the park will be rehoming many more, all at the same time and from the other side of the world. This research laboratory in Chile, South America, is retiring almost 100 primates, and Monkey World has agreed to take as many as possible, beginning with a first shipment of 36. The team has spent weeks developing and building the capuchins' new homes. This is one of 2 new enclosures for the first 36, but over in the office there's some news, which changes things dramatically.
I'm sort of teetering right now on probably one of the biggest decisions Monkey World has ever made. The dean of the university where the monkeys are being kept has had an awful lot of pressure put on him by animal rights groups who are protesting outside of the university about the capuchin monkeys being there at all. He's reached the end of his tether, and whereas I'm sure the protesters mean well on behalf of the monkeys, what they've done is put enough pressure on that the university now feels suitably annoyed that we've been told that we can come over, pick up as many monkeys as we can take, and then that's going to be it. So I've been sent a list now of not only the 36 that we've agreed to take, but of the remaining 52 that are at the lab, because there are 88 monkeys there at the moment altogether. Our biggest decision now is what to do and how many of those 88 we can actually rehome here at the park, because I believe that there is no future for the remaining ones that we leave behind. It's a tough decision. Do we take the 88, or do you play it safe, take your 36, and leave the difficult decisions to other people in Chile?
Coming up, it's feeding time, and alpha male Hananya doesn't seem to be commanding the respect of his troop. Is he struggling as a leader? And the team meets to discuss the fate of the 88 capuchin monkeys. Can they all be rescued at once?
That would be indeed the largest rescue operation that we've ever done in the history of the park. I mean, just bringing in the 36 was going to be the largest, but 88 monkeys is enormous.
At Monkey World in Dorset, the youngest boy in the chimp nursery is Rodders. He loves the group's rough play sessions, but sometimes they can get a little too rough, as Rodders has just discovered. Vet John Lewis has been called in.
Well, we're here at the nursery group today to remove a couple of broken temporary teeth from Rodders, and he's had them broken by another chimp, which is incredibly common in chimpanzees. They're, violent's the wrong word, they're robust with each other and the way they play, and they quite often damage teeth in the process. So in the wild, they'd either fall out, or if they were permanent teeth, they'd stay broken, which is not very comfortable or safe. Here, we just take them out. Temporary teeth, they'll be replaced by adult teeth later anyway, so it's of no great consequence to Rodders.
Rodders is 2 years old, and his best friend is little girl Ash. They were both rejected by their mums, but as they're about the same age, they've grown up together. The pair have always loved playing the lively games that are so much a part of nursery life. But as a result of a particularly rough play session, Rodders has been injured. He's just been given an anaesthetic injection and he's almost asleep.
Should we get him, the sooner we get him on a table, flat on his back, better it is. That's it. That's great. Then we can see him breathe and all the rest of it, okay?
John is concerned that there could be some fragments of broken tooth in Rodders' gum. If they were left untreated, they could cause infection, or his adult tooth could come through at the wrong angle.
You've just got to be very gentle to get all the, because the root is a shell. And you need to get all of the shell out.
As John suspected, the tooth is not in one piece.
There's the first fragment. There.
With the fragment removed, it's clear to see the extent of the damage to the tooth. The whole tooth and its root now needs to come out without breaking any further. It's a delicate process.
Well, there you go. You have the tooth. However, he's done. And that is the whole root, so...
Yeah.
And presumably that other piece, which was there, should just fit on here. Just to confirm we've got everything. The root of all of these chimps' teeth are far bigger than your roots. So that if you lose an incisor, the root is a moderate size thing, but in a chimp it's actually a lot bigger, 2 or 3 times the size. To stitch that across, I'd have to make a flap and then stitch it over. That's going to be really sore. There's no point, because within 24, 48 hours you'll have a firm blood clot in the socket, and that just turns into ordinary healing type granulation tissue, and that'll be the end of it. Right, I can't see any reason for keeping this animal asleep.
Once he's woken up, the keepers will keep a close eye on Rodders and he'll have some help to ease any discomfort.
He's had a painkiller, but that'll last about 24 hours. But I don't want that area to be free of all soreness. I want it to be sore, so that he doesn't ram a banana up there or whatever. You want him to feel it. I mean, not to the extent of excessive pain, but it needs to be tender.
But having lost his tooth won't affect Rodders' appetite at dinner time.
It won't bother him eating. It will bother us, but it's not going to bother him, trust me. They don't bat an eyelid. They just don't bat an eyelid. Trust you? Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Trust John, oh yeah.
But it's quite remarkable. They just don't, doesn't seem to affect them.
Rodders has been given an anaesthetic reversal injection to wake him up, but he doesn't seem in a hurry to go anywhere.
Come on, Herbert, you've been lazy. Hey. The reason he's being a little slow about coming round is the anaesthetic is a combination of 2 drugs, one of which we can reverse, one of which we can't. So the one we can't just has to wear off. So if we do our job very quickly and 15 minutes into the anaesthetic we're finished, we have to wait another 15 minutes for that one drug that can't be reversed to wear off. And that's why he's being a bit slow. Come on, Herbert, time to get up now. Now I'm going to bother you. Come on, that's it, up you get. Hey. Little, hello. Isn't that the best way to come round from anaesthetic? Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And it's not long before Rodders is fully awake and joined by his best friend, Ash. Later, will the team take the plunge and dramatically increase Monkey World's primate population, rescuing all 88 Chilean capuchin monkeys in one go?
I don't know that all of this lot will go together. I don't know that they'll all fit.
The chimpanzees at the park are given scatter feeds throughout the day to help simulate their natural foraging behaviour. This afternoon, Hananya's group are being given a variety of frozen fruits. They're perfect for cooling the chimps down on a warm day. And as the food arrives, the group are definitely getting excited. In the wild, chimpanzees can often travel long distances, moving from one food source to the next. And there is a strict pecking order as to who feeds first. It's usually the higher-ranking members of the troop who get first pickings. It's a good way of maintaining social order. But the boss of this group, Hananya, doesn't command the respect he's due at mealtimes. The other chimps just grab as much food as they can, and time again, Hananya gets left with nothing. When Rodney was in charge, the group would never have dared grab the food before he got to it. Rodney usually got the biggest chunk of whatever was on offer. And he also made sure he got as much food as he wanted. But at 14 years old, Hananya is a young leader, and he still has a lot to learn. He's a laid-back, gentle-natured male and allows the other chimps to feed near him. But sometimes he's just not sure how to stand up for himself. If he asserts his dominance, the group will respect his position and his right to eat first. And he'll get the best of the food on offer. But until then, the others will keep on taking advantage of his youth and inexperience. Back with park director Alison and the team, some tough decisions are being made about the capuchin monkeys in Chile. All 88 now need rescuing at once. But can the park cope with this number?
I had a meeting with Jez and Jeremy, and what I'm thinking is that if the laboratory can actually take the cages that the monkeys are in at the moment and remove them from the walls and maybe even just make a framework so that the animals can be transported in their existing cages, I'll consider agreeing to all 88 coming to Monkey World at once. So that would be indeed the largest rescue operation that we've ever done in the history of the park. I mean, just bringing in the 36 was going to be the largest, but 88 monkeys is enormous.
It's a huge challenge, and the team have made their decision.
I think for the animals' sake at this point in time, Monkey World should do what's right for the animals, offer to take the 88 with their cages and do the best we can for as many individuals as we can, and actually face up to the reality that a certain number of them won't make it.
This will be Monkey World's biggest rescue operation ever. Now that many more capuchins than they planned for will be arriving, the staff meet to work on urgent new living arrangements.
And I thought that all of this lot, totaling 69, could head down to the bottom house, to the new house, then also have what the existing house and facility connected up for any overflow. So
It's been a huge task to make sure everything at the park is ready. But the monkeys' transportation has always been the biggest problem.
I mean, I don't want them to be en route if we can possibly avoid it for more than 48 hours. And that's kind of the golden number, really. More than 48 hours is starting to get into dangerous territory for us, so really...
At last, after several months, there seems to be a solution.
The laboratory has actually managed to get the Chilean army to agree to fly the whole batch of monkeys over all at once. So we actually have a date now, and, you know, really pleased that finally everything's coming together. The houses are here and ready to go. Brand new, beautiful house. We've got the boxes, the traveling boxes out there ready to be taken off tomorrow. We're ready to get the monkeys. We're ready to go.
Next time. It's a big day for boisterous chimp Seamus. He's moving in with the bachelor boys. But he famously dislikes travel boxes, so how will he react?
Seamus is a boy of very little brain. He might say, oh, look, goodness me, last time I went in a box, that wasn't good. But he might have totally forgotten that and think, let's go and sit in the box. I think he's going to have a problem with it. Go for it. Now it's good.
Too slow.
Yeah.
Toddler orangutan Aris has got into a scrape with one of his new housemates. But who was it?
We honestly don't know what happened or who did it, but he did sustain some quite nasty bite wounds to his back. His knee and his elbow were quite swollen. Someone meant that with intent. It wasn't just a little skirmish.
And what happens when Seamus meets his former partner in crime, Charlie? The pair haven't seen each other for 2 years.
Now, you be nice to Seamus. You be nice. No, no. Good boy. Hey, no, no. Charlie. Good. No. Charlie.